So today's opening day of grouse season, and it's been a pretty good day so far. And I figured I'd take a few moments just to point out some things that the grouse really like, kind of their habitats and all that. So the first thing that they really like is nice cover. So you see these evergreens, they tend to really enjoy those. And if you find some evergreens next to some wild berries, maybe some mushrooms, they tend to forage on a lot of those. They really enjoy a spot like that. If you can find something like that next to some water, that's the ideal situation for them. That way they don't have to go as far for food and water and all that. The next thing is you want some nice loose gravel. And I'm talking like loose. They like being near that because that helps them digest all of their food. So if you have all of that right in a small area, similar to like where I am right now, I'd pop off the road for a bit and see what you can't muster up. They're not always in the road, so if you can get off the road, get out and try and get to them, you'll have a lot more luck. Here's another good example of one of those spots that I was telling you about. Right down here we have our strawberries. Go a little bit further, we got some mushroom. I don't know if you can hear it in the video or not, but just down over that way there's some flowing water. And then right off to the right is some nice cover for them. So I'm going to poke my head in a little bit further in and see what I can't drum up. As you drive from spot to spot, or if you're just driving down the road, keep an eye out for these little rock ledges. A lot of times they'll be sitting on top of those, sunning themselves, getting that morning heat. You get some bonus points if you find one that is facing southeast or southwest, depending on the time of day. Another thing to keep an eye out for is you want to watch in your mirrors behind you. Make sure that as you're driving, they're not popping up and out of the ditch or out of the brush as you go by. And again, as you drive along, you want to make sure to keep an eye out in front of you. What I like to do is about, depending on how fast you're driving, about 10, 15, and 20 yards in front of me. And I just keep sweeping back and forth. And if I'm walking, I do 5, 10, 20, and keep a sweep. Make sure to check each one of them and go back down, check again as you go along. A lot of the times they'll pop out from this underbrush right on the side of the road. It's a lot easier in the fall when everything's kind of died off. When you're hunting right off at the beginning of the season, try not to get yourself too discouraged, because you have to remember it's a lot easier for them to blend in with everything, especially the surroundings. Not everything has dropped, and their camouflage is pretty good for their surroundings. You take this one, and it really blends in quite nicely with everything around here. And then if it was up on this rock wall, perch that right there, take a few steps back, and if it's not drumming or spread out, sunning itself, it's really hard to see. So again, try not to get discouraged when you aren't getting your limit right off the bat.
Got one.
Sure did. Do you want to go after that second one?